Hello. Oh, look at that. Love the thumbs up. Thanks. Thanks for the support. Rise, I don't know if you're here, but I love that she wasn't knitting needles. Wink, wink. Hey, Hazel, how are you? It's tea and talk time. But I got a question for you guys. How many of us had one or two too many drinks last night? Put your hands up. Seriously, though, I did have a good one or two too many, but glad you guys were all there to hang out. It was a really fun time. I loved playing the Never Have I Ever game, learning some new things about each other and just the laughs and good times. So, yes, Hazel, I did. I had one or two too many last night. Last night was fun, but sheesh, today was not. So I was like, okay, we're not going to do that again. Oh boy. You get having fun and you just have a little too much fun and it's like, oh no, that wasn't very fun now. So good times, loved hanging out, loved the game. It was awesome. Recoup today and carry on with 2019. Woo! um, so I hope all of your nights were all safe and happy and you made it home. And yeah, it was a good time. I actually have never done a live for 4 hours. So no, it wasn't a rough night. I just had one or two glasses too many of wine. So today I woke up not feeling that great. So I was like, yeesh, we're not going to do that again. Good times, but once a year is kind of good enough for that. You got called into work at 6 a.m.? Oh no, Rick. Well, aren't you going to be, isn't the plus side to that you're going to be making like time and a half or double time or whatever because it's a holiday? Question mark. If so, then that's not so bad, right? It's like, oh, I'll come in, see, there you go. So there's the bonus out of it. It's like, well, so you should have had a day off, but you're going to get extra paid just for doing it. So kudos to you. Hey, Mabel. Hey, Diane. And you had to get up for work too today, Diane? Yeah. Well, I definitely didn't want to leave you guys hanging because I did promise I'd do, tea and talk, but it took me till this afternoon to get, prepared enough to be able to do it because my stomach and my head was just not okay. So we're not going to do that again, as I've said like 4 times. Did I check out the Rose Parade? No, I didn't actually. Pretty much after I hung up with everybody, I had realized I had a piece of chicken that was out, so I quickly cooked that up and then I basically went to bed. So I didn't eat it or anything either because I don't like to eat and then sleep. It's really not healthy. Once in a while, Thanksgiving dinners and stuff. Once in a while, it's not bad. You have like the huge feast and it's just like, oh, don't move. But yeah, chill day today. Yeah, just recoup and not do that again. But it was fun. It was good. So I wanted to talk about the Andrea Yates case. A few of you guys have mentioned stories to me this past 2018, when I started asking you guys if there was stories that you would be interested in hearing about. Um, you know, give me a shout, let me know, pop me a message. And one of those suggestions was for Andrea Yates. And I mean, this story, I did follow some of it when it went down, but I didn't see it all the way through. I didn't really follow the story all the way through at the time when this had happened. So June 20th, 2001 was when Andrea Yates called 911. Um, she had drowned her five children. One of them, you know, Noah, that was the oldest one. I believe he was 7 or 8. Literally, ran from her, like just brutal. But we'll get to that. Hey everybody. Hey Tori. Hey Tracy. Hey Reese. Aliens are real. Ghosts are actually aliens. Thanks for sharing. Love it. Lori, I will definitely go check out that parade for sure online today. but we had just talked about it last night, right? So I didn't even know about it. But by the time we had sort of all logged off, it was too late in the evening for me. I had to get to bed. I knew I wouldn't make it to midnight though. Hey Neil. So, back in the 90s, 2000s, there wasn't a whole lot of information or knowledge on, um, postpartum depression, the mental illness side of the psychosis of postpartum and things like that. So, like, she was diagnosed eventually with, it's called cocodamnia mania, if I'm saying that correctly. And it's basically a belief that you believe you're possessed, and she just really wasn't psychologically okay, having those children so close together, kind of, back to back to back. It ended up affecting her mental state for sure. Now, her and Rusty had met. That was her husband, Russell. They had met back in, well, let me just start off with like a basic of who she is. She actually was her class valedictorian. She, graduated high school. She even took a nursing course and was a registered nurse. So she's by all accounts seemed to be a very normal type of woman, Um, did her due diligence in schooling and followed a career path and took that. She met her husband her soon to be husband in 1989. And, they quickly moved in together and they were married by 1993. So, it was a wonderful type of union. They came together on a religious platform. They both had similar beliefs. They both wanted to have as many children as they were naturally allowed or able to have. Um, so of course that was sort of what happened, right? They started having kids sort of, right away after they, came together. So let's see here. I'm trying to stay in somewhat of an order here-ish for you guys. Interesting how her process came about, though, because we didn't know too much about, the psychiatric side of the mental disorders of postpartum depression and the effects of that and stuff like that. So she ended up, becoming medicated because of some outbreaks, some suicide attempts, just kind of not acting sane. She was hospitalized a few times. And medicated, which I am in agreement with. I think if you are having trouble dealing with something, you should go to a doctor and get some help for it and, work with your doctor repeatedly. If one medication isn't working, you try another kind of thing. So, she became fairly depressed after her fourth child, Luke. And I guess June 1999, Rusty found her sort of shaking and chewing at her fingers. The next day she had sort of attempted suicide by overdosing on a bunch of pills. It was not a good situation. He took her to, the doctor, and they prescribed her Haldol. She immediately had a good effect with it and was able to stabilize her, um, her mental illness in a way, and return home to being a mom. But the psychiatrists and stuff then had urged her husband, like, please don't leave her alone, like, let's monitor her all the time, because there was this concern that she was going to possibly hurt her children. She seemed to be coping well with all the medications, and everything seemed to be on the up and normal until her father died in 2011. And I think that just sort of set her into a different state of mind. She was hearing messages from the TV. She was seeing things, hallucinating. I mean, she really just wasn't herself. She started to, cut herself. She was just going religiously crazy in the sense that she was, divulged into this book and into this, pastor that was a leader for them. What was his name? Michael Warnicki. Super high religious type of person that they, infiltrated into their own lives, and it took a different turn for sure. So, oh, sorry guys, I have a sip of my tea. Sorry for the slurping. So on June 20th, 2001, Rusty goes to work and she proceeds to fill up the bathtub. Now, there had already been an agreement that Rusty's mom would come and help out with the parenting of the children. And, she would be there she would only be alone for an hour in the morning and an hour at night. Rusty was trying to sort of maintain giving her some of her own independence. She was the mother. They didn't want her to become too codependent on them for her maternal parental responsibilities and stuff. So they ended up, having a deal where, mother-in-law would come in and help out with the kids in the morning. Now, he had left for work and, she was literally with the kids for only an hour, but in that hour was when she had literally drowned all five of her children. So she locked the dog up in its cage so the dog wouldn't get involved, which to me shows a little bit of mental awareness that you're doing something severely wrong, right? You don't want anything to interrupt you or stop you. So you're going to prevent something, which is the dog, because if the dog would have seen what she was doing, I'm sure the dog would have probably attacked her, because this dog had been playing with all these kids. I mean, it would be wondering what the hell's going on, I'm sure, right? So she locks the dog up and fills up the bathtub. And, Noah, the oldest one, is not really paying attention, I guess. And I guess he goes into the washroom and he finds his little baby sister floating in the tub. And he asks his mom, what's wrong with Mary? And, she basically ends up chasing him down to drown him too. And at one point, he picks his head up out of the water enough to tell her, no, mommy, don't. I'll be good, mom. I'll be good, before losing the fight of struggling against his mother as she's forcefully drowning him face first in a bathtub. I mean, talk about insane, And so, like, here's my take a little bit, you guys. I understand that people have some, postpartum depression and things that happen in your psyche that create for you to, do some things that are unthinkable. But I definitely think that she had some knowledge about this. She kind of, covered it in a sense that she wanted to make sure that it was going to be able to be followed through 100%. So she puts the dog away, right? I mean, like, and then she calls, 911, and she basically won't tell the operator what's gone on in the house and why she needs authorities there. She just continues to state that she needs authorities there and could they please just show up. And she then calls her husband and tells him at like 10 o'clock in the morning, you need to get home now. And he says that the firmness in her tone, she just didn't usually talk like that. He sensed the emergency behind it, and he immediately left work and went home. And I mean, to his absolute shock, he gets there and, finds out that she has actually, she's actually drowned and killed the children, and he's just lost it. He's devastated. He's screaming like, I can't believe you finally did it. Like, he's just losing it. Now, this man, he maintained supporting her throughout all of it. Not only did he see like how mentally deranged she was becoming, he knew that she was becoming more and more sick. He could see that. he could hear that in some of the things that she was saying about wanting to kill the children and things like that. Um, that would be an immediate red flag for, anybody out there that might have friends that are dealing with this or something like that. I don't think you can pick and choose who gets this psychosis, who deals with postpartum and who doesn't. It's just really dangerous. And sometimes a lot of women, I think, are really quiet about it. They don't talk about those god awful feelings that they're having, or thoughts, because they're crazy, they're heinous, they're why, no, they're unspeakable, right? So, like, I get it, but we need to be supportive to these kinds of people too. So here's my thing. I think that yes, she needed to be proven guilty, because she went through a trial process, and there was no, like, they didn't really focus on the fact that she had this mental disorder and this postpartum depression. And so she was found guilty, like, they didn't think that she had any issues really until it was really sort of looked into. The doctors that she dealt with, the psychiatrists, the medications, the hospital visits, the attempted suicides, the fact that she was on Haldol meds before she got pregnant with her fifth child, even after the doctors had said, I don't think you guys should have any more children. It wouldn't be healthy for her. She might just lose it, Basically, it took them about 7 weeks after hearing that, and she was already on getting pregnant on the fifth child. And Haldol, she just went and cut herself off, because most women that know, medication and pregnancy don't really mix. So she took it into her own hands to decide that she didn't need that medication anymore because she was pregnant and she wanted to have a healthy child. But that put her psyche and everything into just crazy abnormal levels in all kinds of ways, I'm sure. And I'm sure she tried to maintain for a long time, but unfortunately, she wasn't able to hold that, and yeah, she had her fifth child. And we ended up going through the second trial process, and that's when, because this got overturned so that she could have another trial, like, and that was granted in 2005. That particular trial, it literally only took jurors 13 hours to deliberate. What was interesting about that is that they had requested photos of the children so that they could look at them in the jury deliberation room. And when they were in there, I mean, it was later told that they had literally taken a 2-minute, silence for their legacy on each child, and they came out with the guilty, or not guilty by reason of insanity. Sorry. Now, I can't really blame her husband for forgiving her. I mean, she wasn't always this way. He understood and knew her. He knew what was happening, and I'm sure that his heart really hurt for her that this was happening. I don't think it's supernatural to have that many children that closely together, but I mean, to each their own. And some people have very normally done that with absolutely zero issues. So, like I said, you can't really pick and choose on who this postpartum will affect and who it won't. And you can't avoid it either. It's something that happens in the psyche that, comes out sort of later on. And, I kind of felt really bad for her. I totally feel like she needs punishment. Like, she doesn't need to be released to go back into the world to have more children for something else like this to happen. That's for sure. She definitely needs, the hospitalization for her normal, maintaining of life. But she certainly, doesn't necessarily need to be criminally behind, state bars where she's, immersed amongst a bunch of other inmates. I can't even talk properly today, for crying out loud, that are just, deadly. Like, she really isn't a deadly person. What she did was brutal and unacceptable and not tolerable in any way. And she should never be allowed out and free. No. But, I understand where the psyche trip happened and that, created for this, but very, very sad situation. She should not be, out to be free. She should be hospitalized, and it seemed like he was really trying to stay positive, I think, you guys, and it got really misconstrued because let's not forget that when something bad like this happens, the entire freaking world is on top of picking apart every single little detail about who that person is or who they were with or what they did, how they did it, all of that. That's just the nature of the beast, as I call it. When you do something that is heinous and the whole world finds out about it, what do you expect, right? Everybody's going to jump all over and be like, well, what about this? And well, that's weird, and how come he did that? And I don't think he should be smiling right now, but like he was surrounded by his support group. I mean, people were trying to lift his spirits. I mean, how is anybody supposed to act when something like this happens? And who is any one of us to say, well, that's the wrong way? I mean, that being said, like there was another case that, was followed very closely by the media, where the parents were, spraying silly string and having a party at the funeral and stuff. So like, like within reason, you want to try to keep yourself up. I mean, it's absolutely devastating. Of course, he's heartbroken. He just lost all of his babies. Like, of course, but what's he supposed to do now? Like, so I feel like us as society in the world, we really shouldn't judge that harshly. You know what I mean? We don't really know what he's feeling and stuff. And I mean, the guy works for NASA. Clearly, he's a smart dude. I'm sure that he wasn't laughing this off, that he thought it was a big funny joke. I'm pretty darn sure. But, it got misconstrued that, he was supporting his wife because what she did was so horrible. But I mean, like I said, you guys, he was there and knew the whole process of her, so it wasn't just like, one minute you're normal and the next you're not. He saw how sick she was getting and each incident and everything that was happening. And they just kept trying and trying and trying to make things work, and stay positive. But that was just unforgivable in a sense. Like, you can't go back to that. You can't just, okay, well, that's okay that you did that, and let's carry on and have another family. That's not going to happen. And I'm really happy that he ended up finding a wonderful woman to marry and have, more children with, so that he didn't have to stay focused on this negativity. The religious beliefs were a little intense, I have to admit. I'm not sure what's up with these. I almost kind of see them as borderline cults, like where, just mass amount of people that kind of seem to be coming to this leader to, whatever, like, to each their own, but it just seemed a little bit odd, so it was interesting that the one of these doctors, because there was two psychiatrists, obviously one for the defense and one for the prosecution. And, of course, one of the psychiatrists, it was the prosecution's psychiatrist, Dr. Park Dietz, admittedly on the stand says that just prior to, Andrea losing it and doing what she did to her 5 children, she was watching a Law and Order episode, that had aired about exactly that, and that a woman had, drowned her children and she had been acquitted on, insanity and blah, blah, blah. It got found out, though, very quickly that was false testimony, that there wasn't actually a Law and Order show that had aired about that, or there was the person who actually wrote for Law and Order, exposed that, saying like there was no such episode that was ever created. Now, I mean, back January 2006, not January. When was that? There was a show that was made after this based on her story. Oh yeah, 2004. Sorry. I thought it was 2006. But yeah, no. So there was a show that did air on this story, but I mean, how crazy is that? That a professional would get on the stand and lie like that and say something that isn't true. That she had just been watching this show, and that's what kind of gave her this idea. And then to find out that wasn't true and stuff like that was huge. You know, I can't imagine what she was going through. You know, hearing things, messages from the TV. She literally thought that Satan was, you know, had a hand on each and every one of her children. That, you know, one was going to be like a rapist and one was going to be a trans something. And I don't like, she was just lost, you know. Each one of her children in her mind were Bridget, we're talking about Andrea Yates, that she had drowned her 5 children. But you know, she definitely lost it in think like she had thought that her kids were, you know, already Satan hellbound and all of that, and that she was actually saving them. She had a ticket for them to get to heaven in a sense by taking, you know, their lives. Brutal, like absolutely brutal. She was definitely sick. She had acute psychosis. Do I believe all of what, Rick? What do you mean exactly? Oh, it was so sad. Very sick woman, you know? Loney, I believe she is still sick, you know, even though it's managed, she's still, you know, I believe that. Yeah, you know, I don't think that you're going to be able to get rid of something like that. You'll be able to medicate it, but I don't think it ever quite goes away. All of what she was thinking? No, I don't believe that. I think that she was going crazy. I'm sorry to say it like that, but that's exactly what it sounded like by what she was saying that she thought about her kids. Those are her children. And that's what she thought? Like there's something wrong with that, you know? And that's unfortunate. It's sad. It's sad that they didn't actually listen. I feel like if they would have listened to the doctors and she hadn't have gotten pregnant the 5th time, maybe none of this would have happened. But, you know, you can't really what if it, right? I mean, it happened the way that it happened and it is really sad, but no, I believe that she was suffering more from like postpartum depression and it just got severe for her, you know. But possibly, you know, possibly some other things like schizophrenia. Like I said, she was hearing things and seeing things and, you know, hallucinating and messages in the TV and yeesh, you know, sad stuff. I totally agree, Rick. You know, but I mean, cause so you can understand though the point that like it's you almost can't blame her at the same time as she's guilty and it was her hands that did this and she should, you know, she should have to pay for that. You know what I mean? But you can almost sort of sympathize and you know, feel really bad for what had happened mentally to her. Hey Clary, how's your head today? I started out the show asking how many of us had one or two too many drinks last night, and then I slowly like raised my hand. Oh boy. The husband, I think he was aware. I just don't think that he knew it was actually as serious as it was, you know? But like he knew what was happening because she had already told him that she thought she should kill the children and things like that. Like, I mean, she was talking to him about it. So and he knew like he had seen her suicide attempts. He had brought her to the hospital. We're talking about Andrea Yates, Clary. Is she any different than Chris Watts? Well, yes, in the sense that I believe what happened with her was, you know, a psychological thing. What happened with Chris is that he became, you know, he became more like macho, full of himself. He looked good. He found a you know, little chickie, side chickie that he was having fun with, and he was able to really be himself and do things he wanted to do with. And he started to want a different life, you know. and therefore took out his entire family and then tried covering it all up. I mean, Andrea Yates called 911. I mean, she wouldn't say exactly what she had done, but she was at least calling to say, like, I need some help here. Too late. She called too late. I mean, they were already all dead, but still. And so sad for the officers that showed up first on site. The officer that went in, he said that he saw like what he thought it was a doll. It was baby Mary. There was, I guess, a piece of the blanket that wasn't shown. He thought it was a doll. He literally touched the head and realized, that it was a human and not a doll. And as he lifted up the blanket, he saw 1, 2, 3, 4, more children. And the only person that was there was Andrea. So Chris, definitely different in my opinion. Yeah. Chris Watts Asperger's. No, I don't think so. What's the Asperger's again? Can someone just... Hey, Francis. From Mexico. Cool. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm glad that we're all here and safe and enjoying tea and talk time. TTT. Your son is autistic? Okay. You had eggnog. You do not have a hangover. Good for you, Mabel. I don't like eggnog though. Yeah. I don't know. I've actually never really tried it. It just looks like eggs, and I'm just like, ew, I don't like it. Oh boy, I'm such a creature of habit, Regardless of the situation, it's still way mental to hurt. Yeah, no, absolutely very mental to hurt children. I totally agree with you, Rick. Single dad, 5 and 7. I know, right? Like, I mean, even after the Chris Watts case, you guys, like I was hanging out with the neighbor and, there was a little boy there and I was like, oh, how old is he? He's 5. And that's all I could think about was Bella, and I was just like, wow, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. It's so good, eggnog. I don't know. It's really thick, you guys. I'm like, no thanks. I'm like, for milk, I do like skim. Like I'm like a skim milk girl, So eggnog to me is like, why don't you just go drink cream? Like, ew. That's just my opinion, you guys. You want to pick my brain? How can subs contact me? If you go to my About Me page, you can email me, you can mail me. You just have to click on the About tab and it'll drop everything down. Your daughter's 5. Yeah, exactly. I just couldn't imagine, to be perfectly honest. It's part of autism. People say Asperger's are more functional than other end of the spectrum. People with Asperger's are able to talk, but they struggle with eye contact and other symptoms. Interesting. But like what causes that? Is that something that's just hereditary or genetic or what? Or is that something you can get? I mean, good morning, Melanie S. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of you guys. Now 2019. So this was our first story in 2019. I thought Andrea Yates would be kind of a interesting topic for our first story of the year. You just had eggnog for the very first time in your life on Christmas? How was it, Dana? Was it good? I should probably just broaden my darn horizons and try it already, Oh boy. Your 40-year-old stepbrother has Asperger's. Whoa. He tends to get obsessed with one subject for a while. It was aliens on Earth. He did aliens for at least 2 years. Interesting. My hair is tickling my face. I got my heater on, so it's blowing it. Nobody knows what causes it. Interesting. Yes, the oh, you know what, Rick? I want to do a story on the Scott Peterson. I That was another suggestion, and I do plan on doing it, you guys, because I had heard that there was some new evidence or something like that that he could possibly be exonerated. So I thought that that was really interesting. I mean, there's a lot of my viewers, though, you guys, when I mentioned that I had heard that, a lot of you guys jumped on me with like, no way, there's no way he's going to get out. Well, you didn't really jump on me, but, a lot of you guys commented, there's no way that that guy's actually going to get out. So who knows? But if there is some new evidence, I certainly would like to hear and see about that, wouldn't you? you know, You'll never forget the Watts case. You feel like you personally knew those girls. Yeah. Uh, yeah, shed plenty of tears, lost sleep. Yeah. Yeah, the document was really hard for me, you guys. Excuse me. You know, some of that document was really, really hard. I was literally crying reading it as well. Medical research has not been able to pinpoint the cause of Asperger's. Same with autism. Interesting. We love milk and eggnog. Einstein. Asperger's. No Einstein. Diana, cute. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, might be getting freed. Thank you, Clary T. I heard that too, and I was like, "What the fiddle did they find? What is going on?" Bothers me when other people think they're potentially mentally unbalanced people. Hmm. Interested in hearing about Scott Peterson new details. Exactly, right? Holy moly, I know. I was shocked too. I thought, seriously, they have new info? Like, if they're considering letting Scott Peterson free, then there has to be enough evidence saying that he may be innocent. Exactly. Yeah. But it's like, what the heck have they found? Yes, that's what I saw too. The sister-in-law and Dr. Phil. What's so gross, Melanie? Oh, you know what though, you guys? I mean, if there's actual evidence that this guy didn't do what we've all accused him of, that's crazy. How long's he been behind bars already now? Like something to do with the jury. Sure, there's a juror apparently biased or something. Oh, wow. They may open it. Yes, Melanie. Yeah, that's what I was hearing is that there's some more stuff in that case. What the fiddle? You love that? Yeah, what the fiddle? That's my new F bomb. No, I've been saying what the fiddle for a while, but we might as well take it on, right? The piece of shit will never come clean. Hate that he's protected by buying sweets and getting mail. Oh, you're talking about Chris. Horrible about Scott Peterson. Maybe he should move to Florida and become Casey. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look more into all of it before we, divulge into talking about it yet. But just know that it's something that I'm gonna do for you guys. I'll get on that and we will talk about it for sure. No, he's appealing on the juror, unfair trial. Just seen Go Lately video making fun of her and her kids. Oh my god. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I wonder if the Ruzick family ever did see all of that stuff. Because that's crazy. Hey, Natalie, you retracted your message. We all know what the real F bomb is. You're funny, yeah. Don't think I'll ever complain. Sure, Nicole Kessinger is more involved, yeah. Sherry, I heard you say that you're from Canada. Do you think it's true that people that live in northern climates tend to be nicer people because they cuddle up with each other? Well, no, I think that's probably totally a myth, but that's a cute myth nonetheless. But I don't know. A nicer, we are a nice country, you know. Recently, when I was watching a show called The World Without Canada, I learned that it was Canada that created the blue helmets and the peacekeeping for the army and you know for wars and you know for help. It was the blue helmets that brought in food and health and aid and like meds and you know I was like, well, that's so cool. Like so, I mean, it was really interesting to hear a little bit about Canada's culture history on the fact that we are so friendly and we're such a good, nice country and stuff like that. But we definitely have our moments too, where we're maybe not so nice all the time, you know. But don't like the drama that goes on YouTube. I like the fact that you don't get involved in carrying on talks or gossip about other YouTubers. Yeah, no, I see no point in doing that, you know. I'm gonna maintain being classy and as much as I have my own point of view and I disagree with some of the ways of other people, I don't have to get on YouTube to tell everybody how I feel about that. I know how I feel about it. If something happens that I have to the subject comes up or whatever, you know, I can respectfully speak my mind. I don't have to be rude or mean about it, you know? Personally, I think it's probably true. I live in a warm climate and people are just crazy when it gets hot. I am too. I'm angrier and meaner too. Just like, don't touch me. Ah. Like, same. I think that's normal, you know? I apologize accidentally, Mom. A dead woman and her kids. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure, you know. I don't know why she did that, but I disagree with it like 1,000%. I thought it was really distasteful and just straight up mean and, you know, uncalled for. So I was just shocked to hear that she had a relationship with the Ruziks and everything after all of that. I thought they mustn't know. They mustn't know because if they knew, I don't think that they would be so accepting. But what I don't know, whatever. Like I don't want to sit here and judge either. So I'm just like, whatever, you know, to each their own. And if some people really like that, or if that's gonna get you fame faster and that's what you want to do, well, that's your choice. That's your prerogative, you know. It's not how I choose to do things. You know, and I don't even think that Shanann was all that nice sometimes. There was a lot of times that the woman was kind of a biatch, you know, but, you know, all of us women can be like that, you know? So, someone's out. Don't worry about it, Clarity. Don't take it personally. It's fine. That's why we love you. Aw. Loney says, did somebody hear from W Milk case? No, what is that? I'll write that down. The problem with me writing down all of these cases all over the place is that like I lose them sometimes and I'm like, what would, you know, I forget that I had something written down somewhere. I should only have one spot for it. That's what I should do. Okay, fine, I'm out. Tracy, you're out? Oh, sorry to see you leave. No, you're allowed to comment and talk and there's no drama here, you know. If you feel, you know, that you don't like me for some reason or you don't like what I've said, it is absolutely your prerogative to unsubscribe, sweetheart. I'm not trying to be rude or mean or anything. I'm not even sure what comment is making you unsubscribe. But let's not attack each other, you know? Like seriously, we can agree to disagree, and you can like people, you know, that I kind of have a difference of opinion on. That's okay, you know? I'm a very accepting person, and this platform is very accepting too, you know? But yeah, you know what? And that's fine, you know. I disagree with how she did some things, and you know, I've said enough about it. I'm not going to repost her, you know, stuff. I'm not going to make her look bad or talk trash about her. I'm just not that kind of person. Like that's just not how I roll. So, you know, I can have an opinion and not really like something, but I don't have to voice that to the whole entire world, you know? Like I said, if the topic came up, like, you know, she hasn't been very nice to me, you know? So it's just like, whatever, you know? I'm not going to go out of my way now to continue trying to be nice to somebody when they don't want to be nice to me. That's fine, you know? You're allowed. That's weird that Tracy's acting like that though, because she's somebody who's been a viewer on my channel for so long. Um, I would have never I would have never taken her to become upset like this and you know unsubscribe and all that. Like, but that's a little extreme, but whatever. Difference of opinion, I guess. Where you know some people can't accept that. I guess I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess so. You're right, Clary. You know, difference of opinion. You know, we're not all gonna, you know, like the same things all the time. I mean, it's great that you know, we come together and a lot of us agree on the same things and stuff like that. But here on my platform, I think it's okay for us to agree to disagree. And I think it's okay to have a difference of opinion and state that, you know, that's why we have an open platform. So don't think about it anymore. Okay, Hazel. Okay. Well, she said was good lately was nice. You know, I'm sure that you know she is a very nice person. I just didn't always agree and like what she had done and how she handled some things. So, family, if the family accepts apology, that's all that matters. Yep, that's true. That's true. Dare to be different. Mm-mm. Way out of my league. Oh, Deborah, you're cute. Yeah, I think it was Rick's actually. Mm, the possibility to get a lawyer. Police department question after murder. She wanted him free. Loney, who are you talking about? I know you're talking to Mabel, but I'm just wondering who you're talking about too. Who fought for a lawyer at the police department? Won and became free. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. It's like talking politics. You subscribe to them all. None of them have done anything to me personally. Exactly. You're adult enough to move on. And if someone has a different of opinion than mine, yeah, absolutely, Bridget. I think that that's really mature of you, you know? I don't think that everybody is like that, you know? But I think that's a positive, healthy way to be, you know? Politely apologized. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Deborah, anyway. Oh, boy. Deborah Mike. Oh, okay. I thought it was Milky, or did you just? Oh, okay. It is Milky. Stands. What the heck is stands everywhere? It really is simple, Bridget. You're right, you know. Yeah, you know what? I will look into that Debbie Milky for sure. And I will let you guys know about the Scott Peterson thing, because yeesh. Sorry about the sub. That's all right. I really don't take it too personally. I'm okay. I'm a big girl. I really, it's hard for me to take offense to very many things just because of coming from a bullied background as a young girl. It's hard for me to, you know, take offense and get mad and feel insulted and all of that jazz. Hi, Marcus. Good afternoon, C. Haynes. You made it. Hey, Frenchie. À perdre la raison. It's a movie about the event on Andrea Bates. Oh, really? Interesting. Clary, you hide the message and they're like, hi. Hi, Clary. That's cute. Oh, boy. You think I'm your step grandmother? Go crazy, aunt? Really? Hey, Trippy Drew. Sorry, Trippy Drew. Came to speak to her mom before. Mom died and mom fought so hard to get her off death row. Excuse me. We got some flexing going on here. Did you guys see that? That's cute. Is this like an online of, oh, look at me, look, check me out? Is that what that is? Because that's really cute. That's cute. Oh, it's okay, Monica. You can bring it up. I'm just not really going to feed into talking about it. I stay away from government issues, to be honest. Yeah, I just have a few mods. I had about 6 or 7, but I brought it back down to 3. Here's the crazies. Oh, Natalie. An entourage, I guess. Licks the wrench. You're cute. Oh boy. Don't make me use it. Oh, it's cute. Do I think that stuff people eat may cause some of the mental imbalance? Yeah, I think that there's a lot of things in our foods that are probably not so healthy for us, but and I think we can see that in the fact that people lived a lot longer when we lived off the land naturally, kind of thing, it's really changed, preservatives and things like that in our foods definitely have changed how we grow. And the back, oh man, the back is always sore, Rick. Like I said last night, I just try not to focus on it. Otherwise, every 2 seconds, I'd be like, oh, I'd remind you of freaking a female Eeyore. Winnie the Pooh, just, oh, poor me. So, I just deal with it for real. I just deal with it. I medicate and I deal with it. I'm wearing my brace as usual. Oh man, Clary's on top of it. She's swinging her damn wrench. Oh, you're out of here, Lori? Okay, hon. Have a great, safe rest of your day. It's TGIS. Thank God it's Sherry. Oh, no. I'm just bugging you, Clary T. I think it's great. I love it that you're on top of it. You used it wrong? Did you? Sometimes the thing goes up so fast, it just bounces. I don't even know how to say your name. Look, oh, got fame. Seriously? He's probably already gone. You can relate in pain, 2 back surgeries, 1 neck. Exactly. Life's got to go on. We got to move forward, you know? You can't just stay focused on the negative all the time, you know? That's kind of the process of changing my ways and self-talk and being positive. You know, it takes a lot of work, but I've been dealing with this pain for so many years now, you guys. Like, oh my God. It's just getting worse and worse and worse as I get older. When you have a rock hard, bloated tummy that hurts too much. Well, I would look into maybe like cleansing drinks that you can take. I would look at your diet, you know, like what your because see, here's the thing in a lot of our foods these days, you guys, is it has like, okay, so for pancakes, for example, I don't know what all the ingredient really is, and I don't know the exact ingredient that's doing this, but whatever it is that's expanding that bread and that dough in our body, that's what it's doing inside of us, you know? So like a lot of the breads, the carbohydrates, the noodles, like the heavy foods, I cut them out of my diet personally because not only did they make me feel like sluggish and tired after I ate, like I didn't feel energized, like I just ate and now I'm ready to go. I felt like I wanted to go to sleep. You know, and a lot of those preservatives, they're not fully healthy for us, you know. If you can cut up your foods and cook them, you know, from scratch, it's far better than opening up a can of something or whatever, you know. But like for me, it was a whole overhaul of lifestyle. You know, I had to be able to realize what foods was making me feel down and out, and you know, change my ways of doing things. I wasn't making fast, quick meals anymore. I was taking my time to make the meals. You know, I would start cooking, you know, a roast in the morning, you know, or boiling like ribs in the morning kind of thing, so that by the evening they were ready to go on the barbecue or in the oven or whatever. You know, I would buy like a whole cauliflower and you know, your veggies, and you chop those up, and you know, you can literally, you know, buy yourself your cauliflower, chop it up into pieces and throw it into the freezer in bags and just pull out what you need when you get it. You don't have to use the whole thing all at once just because you bought the whole thing, you know? Now you can't do that with everything, but the things that you can do that with, you know, are like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, you know, celery, you know, a lot of the veggies, squashes and things like that are really healthy for you. You're heading out, Rick? Okay. Peace out, people's work calls. Okay. Enjoy making that money, honey. You lucky dog. Have a great day. Stay blessed over there. Your diet's not too bad. Well, that's great. Well, maybe once a day isn't good though. Like sometimes I find if your metabolism is a certain type, eating the once a day can create for your body to like, it's not feeding on the extras that it has. It's creating you know, something that's creating the weight gain. And I'm not like a pro at this, you guys. I just fumbled my own self in ways through my own, you know, health and found out some things. But that's not to say that my way will work for everybody. I'm just showing you the way that I do it and what does work for me. And I've tried all the diet stuff. I tried the shakes, I've tried the pills, I've tried, you know, the watching what you eat and all that kind of stuff. The way that I chalk it up now is if I'm going to be super active, then I will eat a heavier meal. You know, I'll still have pasta once in a while, but it's very rare, you know, it's like maybe once a month kind of thing, you know. Um, I like spaghetti squash. Butternut squash is my favorite. It's just like a creamy potato almost, but it's not potato, it's a vegetable, you know. And once you start filling yourself on the healthy things, I find that it just becomes habit, you know? I'll buy like a bag of those sweet bell peppers, the little baby ones, you know, and just like eat them like chips sometimes. But I still have chips too because I like chips. So who doesn't want junk food once in a while, you know? Or a greasy burger, like it's just you don't want to do that like 3 times a week and, then wonder why you can't get weight off, right? Because it would probably be that, right? A lot of high calories in fast food and a lot of sauces that hold, high calories too. So that was something else that I did without. I started to like things for their flavor and not so much the sauces that go with it. I can literally eat a salad with no dressing on it if I want to, but I like to do like a vinaigrette, a very light, type, and there's all kinds of vinaigrettes out there now. The only diet that works is called discipline. Absolutely. You have to have a balance of eating healthy and activity. And if you're not going to be very active, then you really got to watch what you're eating, You got to work, then do host, and go to the horse training, you come home, you eat tons of food. Well, see, and I would do that opposite, Loney. If you're finding that you want to trim up or something, I would reverse it and I would eat the bigger meal and then go out and do all that activity, because filling up your energy level just to chill is usually the opposite. You get the opposite effect, instead of trimming up and losing weight. But I don't know what your body type is like or anything. But for me, like, I cannot eat a large meal at the end of my day and then just go to sleep. Like, I will gain weight. I will gain weight. So I watch what I eat when I eat it. Your metabolism stopped at 39. Wouldn't it be great if we could just eat whatever the heck we wanted whenever we wanted and not have to worry about health consequences and issues, right? Your body is keeping what you do eat for fuel. Okay, Bridget. Yeah. Really show her some respect. Would you ask your mom or sister or daughter to do that? Nelson, what are you talking about? Oh, maybe you're talking to Gabrielle? I didn't see Gabrielle's message. Oh, it's been deleted. I guess it was inappropriate. Never mind. You probably know. I'm right, Loney. See, and I don't want to tell you guys like how to do things. It's just I figured out for myself. So eating lots, later on, it didn't benefit me. I had to eat it early and then go out and burn it. And then I was healthy. I maintained my weight, and I've been able to maintain my weight since I've been doing that. Celery and peanut butter, that's something I've never had. I've had celery and cheese whiz with raisins on it. That was all right as a kid. It was different. Your phone is constantly buffering, Linda? Okay, hun. Sorry about that. Look at a large meal and gain. You look at a large meal and gain weight? That's funny. The butternut squash is amazing. If anyone wants to lose weight and not gain it back, I was a pro wrestler. You did yoga? Yoga is really, really cool because you're holding yourself, your resistance against your body and gravity creates the weight, and just holding a position, you guys, is a wicked workout. It actually is good. Like the plank, when you're elevated on your elbows and the back of your toes and your whole body is flush with the floor. That's a wicked workout. The longer you can hold that gives your body an entire workout. But yoga is really, really, really good. Well, what is the DDP yoga? I don't know what that is. My moderator's awful. Well, I disagree. What was the reason that you were put out, Dana? What happened? Mac and cheese is the bomb. I've always actually wanted to try like a homemade mac and cheese where you actually use like real cheese. I mean, talk about a fattening meal, but hey, I bet you it would be good to try at least once, But the actual, like, put it in a casserole dish, you've got different layers of kinds of cheese and like, I bet you that would be so good. I love cheese. Cheese is so fattening. But I love cheese. Oh. For telling me to stop eating? No, I didn't tell you to stop eating, Bridget. I don't know why you're saying that to me, but nobody told you to stop eating. In fact, what I said is you should be eating more than one meal a day because you don't want your body to feed off of, nothing and create for you to gain weight, You were just asking what to do for a tummy ache. I try some Tums, honey. I don't know, Pepto-Bismol, Rolaids. I don't know, but you know, oh, not me. I was gonna say you're getting quite defensive there. Like, holy. But okay, no, yeah, I don't think you should stop eating. In fact, I think you should probably eat more frequently, but smaller meals. No, no, you're not an asshole. No, you're fine. It's fine. There's some trolls. That's all right. Yeah, I didn't actually catch that you were wanting to know what to do for a tummy ache. I thought you were asking about it was a guy. Okay. Damn text messages. It's so hard to know what's directed at you and what isn't. Well, no, like I wouldn't recommend not eating. In fact, if you're only eating one meal a day and your tummy hurts, I think that's probably the reason, And I would eat, smaller meals more frequently. Yoga also does amazing things for the blood and oxygenates your blood. Just starts things moving, digestive problems. Okay. Yeah, digestive problems could be what maybe you're dealing with, Bridget. Possibly, Your dietitian told you to eat smaller meals. Yeah, I've heard that many times as well. Excuse me, it's just really more difficult. I think the method that I use most frequently is that my stomach is no bigger than the size of my fist. So, if you're thinking about breakfast, like an egg McMuffin kind of thing is enough, right? So if you start, unless you're going to be doing a lot of things that you need extra energy, then have, a couple or whatever. But, for me, the portion controlling was important, knowing the size of my stomach and not wanting to stretch that out, And if you are going to stretch it out, do it with water. It'll help flush you out. I drink a ton of water. Small meals, Sherry. Crackers, yogurt, half an apple piece. I would have the whole apple personally, because aren't you supposed to have like 3 to 4 servings of fruit or something a day? So one apple, is good. The crackers I don't really do so much because again it's the breads, so I don't really like I try to stay away from carbs. Like the thing that I have most frequently is popcorn as far as carbs go, and I find like that's enough. Like I eat that. That's my treat and I have it fairly regularly, Taught you some portions size. Yeah. Clench your fist, right? And then so like if you look at your meal, and the other thing that I learned, a little trick, was having a glass of water before you start eating. It actually makes you a little bit more full, It's a healthy thing to mix in. And having fruit after your meals is a good thing for digestion. So. Well, no matter that I had a little too much wine last night, I really just didn't want to miss doing tea and talk time with all of you guys, no matter that I had too much wine. Water before the meal. If you just chug a glass, it's actually helps you not overeat, You might actually probably even undereat, which is probably better, right? Keeping carbs down is really important, especially as you age, because adult onset diabetes. Oh no, my husband is type 1. Well, you just don't want to be diabetic. I can tell you that. Okay. Yeah. I don't think that that's avoidable though, right? I mean, you can a little bit with your diet and stuff and exercise, but yeah, that's a good question, Deborah. Bridget, have you talked to a doctor about your tummy aches or like sometimes I find that it's some things that I eat that don't necessarily digest very well and I get, gassy and bloated and you know, your tummy hurts. So the trick is figuring out which foods they are, though. That is really the trick, especially if you like something, but you eat it and then you realize you're not feeling that great afterwards, you know? And it's like, oh, I gotta lose this now. I don't get to have this anymore, kind of thing. Well, you can if you want, but if it makes you feel awful, I recommend not. I love that you're a hairstylist. Wish you lived closer. I do your nails, you can do my hair. Trade services. Gas can hurt very bad. So maybe like if you're just chilling in front of the computer though, and you've eaten or drank something, and all of a sudden you get that tummy ache, it might be an ingredient in whatever you've eaten and drank. Yeah, that would be so cool. Hey, Clary. Everybody wishes that we lived closer. Hey, it's funny. How do you highlight a name? You know what? I really don't know. I thought it was the at symbol as well. I actually don't know how to do it. I'm really not that tech savvy. I'm totally one of those people that's like, if I don't know, I'm not going to try to guess. Because that would have been my guess. Try the at sign. You'd have been like, I did that. Total fitness solution promising ripped abs and shredded body. Comparable workout to running on a treadmill in the asphalt with no impact. Workouts linked together relatively. Interesting. You blame Christmas? That's all right, Bridget. It's once a year. You're allowed. Enjoy it. We only live once, right? I mean, but if you're unhappy with your own health or your own, figure, whatever, you have to take control of that, right? So talking about it and getting different suggestions and ideas and, methods from other people is generally helpful, right? I'm glad that we can come together and, talk this stuff out. It's really cool. It is the at sign. Well, it didn't work when you did it, Mabel. It just says at Bridget Peaker. See, it doesn't seem to highlight though, does it? Well, it's not showing me that it's highlight. I tell you from experience, eating once a day is not good. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think it's very, very good. But I mean, it depends. Like I said, like if there's days, you guys, that even I just have like one meal a day. If I'm not really doing very much and all I'm doing is sitting around reading or something like that, I'm not going to be eating 3 squares that day. It's too much for my metabolism and I'm not going to burn it. And hey, there's the highlight. How'd you do that? Maybe don't put a space. If you do the at, keep it all one name, maybe. Testing. I love it, Amanda. Didn't work though. It doesn't seem to be highlighting. I wonder if you didn't put the space between Lori and M, would it work? No, it didn't highlight. I know. You put a period, that messed it up. Okay, try it again. What is DDP yoga? Oh, only the person that's tagged? Well, then I guess we need to know. Sunkiss, do you see your name tagged? Or no? We need to ask someone else if they can see it because I don't see it highlighting on my end either. But what is this DDP yoga? The very best of traditional yoga, old school, calisthenics, sports, rehabilitation, therapy, dynamic resistance, to create one of the most effective fitness plans. You sound like a promoter, which is a fine, it's just kind of cute. It worked? Sunkissed? Oh, okay. All right. So it's just the person that you're highlighting. I see me getting highlight. Highlight. I don't even know that's a word. Whatever. It's me. It's my word. Oh boy. Yeah, it's highlighting for me when you're doing mine. I can see it. Oh, Loney, you're funny. You wish you were, Nelson. Well, I suggest contacting the company and giving them these spiels. I bet you they'll call you back. Can I dance like a kitty? No thanks, Danny. Highlight was last night. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Good times, good times. I never ever make it to midnight, it seems like, I'm getting old. Just like, what? I mean, what's gonna happen anyways, really? Nothing crazy, right? Oh. Well, I think for me today personally, I'm gonna make a stir fry for myself. It's gonna be so yummy. I'm getting hungry. What exactly does DDP mean for the yoga, though? To get to midnight London time. Well, that's cool. I wish I would have known that, though. I would have been like, Happy New Year! Did like a cheer or something. And have an internet crackpots for 500, please. Oh boy. It's the name of a former wrestler? Oh, I thought that was like, because like there's hot yoga, right? Where you're in like a steam room, really sweating it out or whatever. So I thought it was something like that or something. Oh man, butt plug yoga. You can't do yoga? I can do some things with yoga. Thanks for answering, Nelson. I used to do Bikram yoga, which is an hour and a half in a heated room. And it ripped you. Ripped for 3 years. You're fat. Shush, Mona. I knew you meant ripped. I know. It was just like, eesh. What an autocorrect, right? It's like, oh, no thanks, right? You can't do yoga because of your neck and spine fuse a lot of levels. Yeah. Yeah, I can only do a few things myself because of my own back and neck pains and stuff. But I try to force myself a little bit, but I really don't want to really hurt myself. That's the big issue. You can do other types of yoga, John. You're funny. You don't like yoga because of your size at the time. Anyone can do. So and young, yeah. Knee issues. Well, this has been really, really awesome hanging out together. I'm glad that we could talk about the Andrea Yates case. I think it's brutal that this woman did what she did. Um, I can't imagine the fear that Noah went through getting chased down by his mother to be drowned in the tub. I mean, honestly. We sympathize with each other. Chronic pain for 12 years. I like that we can empathize with each other, Oh, so yeah, I'm gonna go and make my stir fry. I'm probably going to just have a chill day, have another tea, and just relax because my tummy is still not that great. I'm in Dallas page, DDP yoga. Okay. I don't know what agoraphobia is. Type the at to the user. Yeah. Yeah, I need food too. Yeah, need to just go take care of me a little bit more. And I will look into the Scott Peterson case. I will look into the Debbie Milky case, if that's how you say that name properly. It was really, really fun hanging out for New Year's last night. It's been a great first story with Andrea Yates with you guys, chatting about health and foods and all kinds of different things. Really nice to just chill. So I hope you guys all have a really great New Year's Day, first day of 2019. We've got 365 blank pages to just write whatever story. Let's make it a great story this year, you guys, you know? Stay positive, and I'll see you again soon for another story. I love all of y'all, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.